Hey, podcast fans, I've got a quick question for you today. Do you tend to drive the struggle bus every year during the holiday season? Are you ready to change that narrative this year? I'm going to be opening up enrollment for our Transformation ReBoot membership during the month of October, and you can hang out after the episode today for all the important details so that you don't miss out on this enrollment period and the opportunity to keep your positive momentum going during this holiday season. Now, today, you're going to get to listen in as I do a one-on-one strategy session with one of my Transformation ReBoot community members. We're going to dive deep into one of their transformation danger zones, and I'm going to deliver a game plan that they can implement to set themselves up for success. Now, let's dive into this coaching session. All right, Tamar, welcome to your hot seat session. How can I help you out here today?
I think one of the things I wanted to talk about was macros. Because I'm currently following the clean eating program, and I've done a lot of experimentation over the last few years and what's worked and what hasn't. And of course, since I came back from holidays up until a couple of days ago, I was completely off of my routine, off of my macros, but still checking in, keeping accountable, which has really helped. And I'm feeling better, mentally I'm a lot better too, that I'm not sick anymore. So I guess the how-tos of macros, because I've currently got them set, but I haven't weighed myself, especially not since I've been back, and that I don't want that to be my focus, but I certainly want to achieve my goal and inches lost and stuff like that.
So we can attack this at a couple different levels. And, I'm big on kind of folding things in one at a time. And, to be honest, like I didn't start tracking macros myself until a year ago. So I lost all my weight and I didn't even have clients track macros until a year ago when we did ketogenic diet. So I feel like if you're doing keto, macros are very important. Like we got to have that balance. When it's more clean eating, like the nice thing about the clean eating plan is that it's super simple. Like that's the exact plan I used level 1 to do all 100 pounds. So it's nice because you don't have to worry about macros. It's kind of cooked into the system. You know what I'm saying? And it's got a little bit of a carb cycle, a 2-day carb cycle, a moderate and a lower back and forth each day as well. So it's kind of cooked into the process. So, macros aren't something that you have to absolutely stress out about. That's sometimes if that extra information is just like stressing out to track that and figure that out and, I'm a little bit off and I beat myself up about it, then that's one thing to consider. Like you don't necessarily have to do it. Now, if you like it, if you just like enjoy the data and things like that, then it's something that you can track. But if you're doing the clean eating plan, I would prioritize following that structure versus trying to make that structure fit a specific macro thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, do you feel like the macro tracking is beneficial to you? Do you feel like it's stressing you out? Like, what's your relationship with macros currently?
Well, currently I'm trying to stay within them because I work out, I weightlift. Well, when I'm not playing ball, I weightlift about anywhere from 3 to 5 days a week. And my main focus is to build muscle, right? And get tone because that's what I actually really want is to be a stronger person. So I've kind of got around the 1,760 calories right now because before I was eating about 1,300 calories. And I was told that's too much, that's too little, right? If I want to lose weight, for the work, I guess really planning my meals to how I'm working out is the information that I'm looking for and what's the best way to do that because I do love weightlifting and I get my cardio right now from ball. Usually it would be interval training, but how to do it properly so that I'm actually getting the result. Maybe macros isn't the right way or clean eating or.
Yeah. So with like let's talk just like a tiered priority process, just so I know, because we can't go all directions at all times. You know what I'm saying? So we can't be like, I want to be an amazing athlete and I want to lose weight. I want to be super strong. And I want, so we want to kind of prioritize things a little bit. So like pecking order, if we say, okay, weight loss, strength training, performance as an athlete, out of those 3, like what's number 1, number 2, number 3?
I would say weight loss right now because I've got knee issues, right? So I know that losing weight would help me with my knees.
Yeah. Okay. So what I would say, especially coming off of being sick and coming off a little bit of a vacation, we can use kind of a recalibration cycle instead of, and you've been really coachable with this. Like I had to kind of pull back on the reins a little bit when you were sick, like don't jump right back in. You're going to get hurt. So now we can strength train like you want to strength train. We can get out there and play ball like you want to play ball. But what I would do nutritionally is I would just do a 28-day cycle of just focus on the clean eating plan just as is, because that's going to supply enough protein for muscle growth, 100%. I would max out the protein servings because it gives you a range, and I would try to go top end on that. Your calories sound much better, hitting that 1,700 plus. I feel good about that. It's built-in natural carb cycling, so I feel good about that. Like it's not a super low carb, so that'll help you with your athletic performance. So I feel like if you go weight loss primary, that's going to get the job done, and it's not going to take away from the other stuff. And that's how you want to look at it. It's not like I don't want you moving forward with one and backwards with another goal. It's either maintain or slow progress, and one that we really accelerate. And then we also look, all right, with weight loss, if we reduce body fat and have some body recomposition, that's going to help with our strength training. That's going to help with our performance as an athlete as well. So that's kind of the biggest domino to push over. So, I mean, I like the way that you're thinking for sure, but I would say let's kind of tier this out and say, all right, next 28-day cycle, let's focus on just that foundational nutrition, the classic eating plan, keep it super simple and just really nail it. And then next cycle, look and see, maybe we add a little bit of carb cycling, see if that works, and then really dial in. That's the progression I'd like to see people make, is foundational stuff without stressing out about tracking too much or, all the bells and whistles. Next would be carb cycling. That's really easy to implement off of the foundation. And then the next would be really dialing in the macros, where I'm like, all right, I want this percentage carbs, this percentage protein, this percentage fat on these days, and get more specific with it as we go. And we can definitely get there, but I feel like it might frustrate you to jump right there right now. I know it's something that you want, but it may just be like too intense of a thing. And the other thing is, I don't like firing all of our arrows at once. Like I want to save some of those for, like, if we can squeeze the juice out of the lemon, like let's keep squeezing. If there's still juice in there, like let's keep that going. And then when your body's like, okay, I need a variable shift, boom, carb cycling. We squeeze all the juice out of that, and then boom, variable shift, add in a really dialed in macro profile. And that way we keep the body guessing a little bit, and we just get more familiar with what's going to work and what's not going to work. So how's that sounding so far?
That sounds good. In terms of cheat meals, so I've been working on my latest boot camp book, my workbook, and cheat meals. So I kind of, because of my last month, I really wanted my focus to be no cheat meals for the next 28 days, because I actually read the 4 tendencies, and I'm an upholder. And for me, it's just better if I don't do it than if I have one, because one will be 6, right?
Yeah.
I do find it difficult with clean eating not to have cheat meals sometimes, but I really wanted to set that as a goal, because I'm really serious about getting into shape and making my knees feel better and that kind of stuff. What do you suggest for that?
All right. So as an upholder, I like the fellow upholder, upholders unite. I like the way that you're thinking, but I would make one suggestion, because we have to be careful as an upholder is, what if I do take a cheat? Then the upholder will be like, well, the plan is off. Screw it. I'm going to cheat as much as I want, because the rules have been broken. So what I would really like to see you do is actually put 2 cheat meals in the cheat bank. And because that's going to give you at least 2-week segments of, 14 days in a row, depending if you put them together or something. But then it gives us a little bit of a buffer. You're going to have a nice extended couple of, week-long streaks of no cheats, guaranteed, if you only take 2. And like the damage control will be, it's just minimal with just 2 cheats. And I feel like that can accelerate our weight loss nicely. And then just make them milder cheats. Like if you can control it and just maybe just eat some extra carbs. A lot of people on the clean eating plan, their cheats turn into just like a carb load day. And that you can do that as well, where it's like well, let's eat some berries and some rice, and let's get some extra grains and stuff going. Have a nice batch of sweet potatoes. So it doesn't necessarily have to be like, if you want it to be more of a clean cheat, then just do like a carb load day and just eat as many, not a day, but a carb load meal where you just have a big meal of lots of extra healthy carbs. So you can do that as well. And that way it doesn't feel as dirty.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of an all-in person, obviously. So I get these ideas. I'm like, I'm going to do this. And
I like that. But
so you're talking.
I think that'll be good though. That, like I said, that gives you a buffer just in case. You don't have to schedule them out if you don't want to, but maybe after one of your ball tournaments, it's like, let's go out for some adult beverages. And you're like, okay, I got these cheat meals. I can take it if I need to, if you really feel like your willpower is low. And then you don't have to beat yourself up and say like, oh my God, fail. Now on your habit tracker, what you could do is just do cheat-free days and just make sure that you get a couple streaks of like 10 to 14 days in a row with the 2 cheat meals. So I like that. And I like kind of intertwining our goal, our habit tracker, and, all that stuff built into one. That way it all kind of works in the same direction. So that's what I would do. Okay.
I'm going to do that then.
Excellent. So do you feel like this next 20 days, you feel good about like overall schedule? Are the stars aligning for some weight loss, or do you feel like there'll be some difficulties?
No, I think it's going to be a good 28 days. Ball is kind of in June, it'll be winding down. And I've come to realize that's one of my biggest danger zones is lack of routine, and ball fits into that. So, it's how do I plan for it? Because we don't always know what our weekend's going to look like. And I only have, I think, one weekend at the end of June where we have a tournament coming up, which is good. So it's the last weekend of the plan. But other than that, it's just our typical Tuesday, Thursday night, which is easy. I eat at home. That's not a big deal. But I found that last month threw me completely off. But the fact that I was accountable and I actually, I've made some good friends in the group. And that's really helped me out because we've all been talking about ideas and struggles. And, it really kept me in there. So I'm working out now and I feel good. And
that's the whole point, is just having that community built in. And there's so many people out there that just struggle, like just hacking it out on their own. And I got to do this on my own, like that pride and that ego. And then finally I get people to just give all that up and submit to the ReBoot system. And then it's like really nice, right? Like, it's kind of like, wow, he said the water was nice and warm, and man, it is. It's nice. It's nice. The pool I've dove into. So no, I'm glad you're experiencing that, because that's important. Like it helps to have a built-in crew of people that are thinking in similar ways. And you realize that you're not the only one having these types of struggles, which, it's not a big pity party in there. I'm not driving the struggle bus inside the group or anything like that, but it's just like, we're all working together towards a common direction. And that makes you feel good, right? There's some synergy there. So I'm glad that you're absorbing the positive mojo, Tamar. Anything else that you want to cover here real quick?
No, that was my big one. I mean, it's just getting back into the swing of things, getting more connected, on the group meetings and stuff like that. But it's really my food that I got to work on, because I feel like my working out has become a good habit now that I don't even think about it. When I don't do it, I actually crave it. So I'm really, really happy with that. So it means I've done it for long enough that now I'm jumping back into it and it's not a problem anymore. I really got to get there with my food though.
Yep. We'll get you there. Yeah. We'll start simple, and each 28 days, let's look at if we need to. Now, if you drop a bunch of weight this 20-day cycle, like, all right, let's not change a damn thing. Let's just keep going. But if things start to slow down towards the end of the month or whatever, then we'll add a new variable shift. And we've got a few arrows here to fire. And I like to keep you kind of, I hate to use the word hungry, but that's the word I'm going to use. Like, keep you as far as like I know you're interested in macros and things like that. Like, okay, we'll do that, but let's build up to that. And that keeps your interest going towards that. So that'll be good. We'll keep you fired up.
That sounds great.
Excellent, Tamar. Well, I appreciate your positivity, your energy. It's awesome. And I'll help you out however I can. All right.
Awesome. It was good talking to you.
All right. Have a great day. Hey, thanks for hanging out after the episode. I hope that you enjoyed listening in on this coaching session. Now, our Transformation ReBoot membership enrollment will be opening up again during the month of October, and I want you to take a good hard look at this if you are someone that especially tends to drive that struggle bus during the holiday season. And with this membership, you have access to one-on-one monthly strategy sessions, just like what you heard today on this episode. We also have weekly small group chats for a boost of accountability and support. With your membership, you also get access to our private Facebook community, where we're going to do some fun challenges, and we also match you up with an accountability buddy for each 28-day cycle that we go through. And special bonus, you get a fresh monthly mini course developed by me on topics like intermittent fasting, strength training, and how to handle the holiday season. Now, you can do a free 10-day trial anytime in the month of October and try on this membership before you fully commit. And my goal for my members this holiday season is to help them lose weight and not momentum. No more driving that struggle bus during the holidays. Now, you can head on over to millionpoundmission.com to get more program details on the Transformation ReBoot membership and get ready to launch your free 10-day trial inside of the program in October. Thanks for listening, and I will see you on the next episode.